All right. Says that we're live. Let's get it. Oh, nice. Like it immediately. Here we go. It sent me. It finally sent me my notification.
let me let the people on Twitter know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna share it as well. Share,
Dude, my hair looks weird. I just took a shower. That's why.
bro. Your hair looks pretty snazzy, dog. You look snazzy.
I'm gonna get a buzz cut one day.
Why? Just stay rocking with the mullet.
I will. I'm gonna try it out for a few more, like 2, 3 months.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So let people get up on. Let people log in. We got one person. Some people get up on here really quick. And then put it. You shot it to Twitter already?
No, I'm having trouble finding the link. I'm like, I see we're live on YouTube, but
Oh, there, just I'll send it. I'll
oh,
just
here we go. Yeah, I got it.
such
Cool,
a
cool, cool.
such a rookie.
Alrighty, man. I'm all set, ready for you. We gonna
All
let
right.
people trickle in, or just keep
Yeah,
going
let
through?
let some people get in because I reached out to our South El Monte community, man. Like, because you know I have
Okay.
ties, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So I reached out to them. I kind of want to because I'm gonna talk about some of their kids. So see if they get on here. Give a couple minutes.
Mm, okay.
Bruh, I can't wait to talk about this.
Damn.
So how was your Thanksgiving? Because I know we really didn't talk about it at the game, but how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was pretty chill. Just spent it with the limited family that I do have here in the U.S.
Okay.
Um, yeah, ate some good Mexican food. We did play a board game. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially it's kind of like you know that one game where you kind of guess what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's that
Charade?
except it's in the form of a card, and then you spin it. There's a dice that says like free play or
Okay.
free roll, something like that. Act it out. So essentially, it's like you're guessing what the card is, and there's four different subjects. There's people, places, things, and traits. So
Okay.
like if I get a card and it's you, if it's Paul Robertson,
Yeah.
and then I spin the dice and it says act it out or it says freestyle, whatever. I have to kind of try to act like you, and people can try to guess. So that's kind of the basis of it. I did forget what it's called, but it's pretty popular, I'm assuming.
All right. That's tight. That's tight.
What about
All
you?
right. So, what time is it? Give it about 3 minutes. For the
Mm,
8 people that are in here, thank you for tuning in. We'll get cracking right now. Just get some people time to tune in. I know finishing up dinner and stuff. Ooh, bro,
yeah.
the stuff we're gonna talk about off air is so legit.
There we go. Can't wait,
I gotta
man. Let's
turn
get
my
into
phone
it.
volume off. My phone is going ham right now. Bro, my volume is off, and that notification came through loud on purpose. Sheesh. That was something that I needed to see or hear, or yeah, I needed to see that,
I'm
especially with us going live right
excited to
now.
hear.
Yeah, man. Are you excited for this weekend? It's about to be cracking.
Yeah, sucks. They're all on Saturday, so I gotta go to one game
Which one are
because
you gonna go to?
I'm
Oh
probably gonna go
wait,
to the
oh, wait,
Cardinals.
wait, 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 wait. You'll tell us during the show. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I didn't hear you,
No,
so
it's all good. It's
it'll be
all
a
good. It's all
surprise
good.
to me.
Yeah, man. Let's dive into it, man. I'm
All right, let's
excited.
get it. Yeah, yeah. All right. We want to welcome everybody to the On the Map podcast. I'm your host, Coach Paul. You already know that handsome young fellow over there is my co-host Jay. And man, if you guys have not read about it, seen it, been on Max Preps, you guys missed one hell of a weekend. Let me tell you. So I have all the like D. Well, there's three of us, right? Oh, I left out the D2 stuff out of my stuff. So I'm gonna have you go over all that stuff. Like I'll go over the D3. You take care of the D2. I'll catch up on some stuff because I did forget D2. I did leave them out of my like stuff as I was running around. But man, we have we have a hell of a show for you guys. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Black Market Chicken and Never Waver Apparel. If you guys are not subscribers yet, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit that bell button, hit the notification button so when a new episode comes out, you're notified. Because, yo, league announcements are right around the corner. So you know it's coming soon. We have our interview portion where we get to interview our student athletes and we highlight them. So for new followers, new subscribers, welcome to our faithful following. Let's get into it. All right. So we have the 7A regional state champions. We got Santee versus South Almani. Um, South Almani is the Southern Section Division 14 champion. Their record is 10-4. They beat Pioneer 14-6. Shout out to head coach Frank Gallardo. He was actually my high school coach
There you go.
from freshman year to my senior year. Um, and then after I graduated, he brought me back on staff when he was at Whittier. He took me with him to Bell Gardens. And then when he went over to South Almani and he first started, I was on that staff too. I helped out a little bit. Shout out to the whole coaching staff over there. Congratulations. You guys deserve it. Let's get into it. South Almani is led by quarterback Michael Maldonado, running back Damian Cordova, and receiver Gabriel Conchola. I hope I said that right. And middle linebacker Anthony Morano.
Okay.
Santee is the LA City Section Division 3 champion with a record of 10-4. Shout out to Coach John Petty. Man, you guys were knocking on the door last year. You got man, and you guys busted down this year. Santee is led by quarterback Michael Aldridge, running back Katron Lattimore, Kevin Castillo, Danon, I think that's how you pronounce it, Danon Alvarado, and the the he is going to be the defensive player of the year for Division 3, Darnell Miller. Um, this game, dude, this game is going to be um I think this is going to be a pretty exciting game, man. Like from some of the highlights that I got to watch off of Max Preps and some of the things that I've heard about South Almani, that team is very well put together. Their offense can move the ball, right? Um, but like I said, they're up against Darnell Miller, man. The kid ran for over 3,000 yards this year. Um, that's what Santee's going to want to do. Santee's going to want to run the ball, and if you can neutralize their running game and make them one dimensional and try to make them pass here and there, then you're in for a great game. I know both coaches will be very strategic with what they have going on, so I can't wait to see what this game turns out to be. Cal Preps has South Almani winning 28-21. Yeah.
Interesting. I
Very
won't
interesting.
I won't speak too much on South Almani because obviously I'm just not well versed. You
Right.
or you have ties to it as well as Mark the Shark. I think that's in his coverage area more or less. So
Right.
he kind of speaks about him. But yeah, I'll just speak on Santi's side, and I there goes the phone. I went to every championship game, every
Okay.
city.
Oh no. We have our first technical difficulty on live. Jay has officially froze. So everybody that is on our live, we apologize. If he's still going, I'm gonna check. Nope, yep, he officially froze. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. All right.
Okay.
So Jay is back. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, sorry. I connected to my hotspot now. It never lets me down. But yeah, I got there on my last play. I was hoping I got there like maybe fourth quarter because I was
Yeah.
working, so I knew I was going to miss most of the game. But yeah, from what I heard, I caught up with Coach Jackson, who was the head coach at LA High. I saw him in the stands, and we just chopped it up for 30 minutes. And it was really just Santi got up early with Darnell Miller, and they never let down. 36, 35-6 was the final score. And I do want to mention Darnell Miller is not only the leading rusher in the LA City section, he is the state's leading rusher. So El Saltamonte will have to quite literally find a way to stop the state's best statistical running back in the state in California. So that's gonna be super interesting to see. Obviously, I guess it's just to be a spoiler for every prediction that I make. This is obviously super biased since I am a city section guy. I run the city section news page. I'm
Yep.
gonna back every city section team, regardless if it's a David versus Goliath type of match. But I think this is actually a pretty winnable game for Santi.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cal Preps agrees, 21-28. I think it's really just can't really stop Darnell Miller. You're gonna need 4 or 5 dogs to stop him. And does South Almani have it? I don't know because I'm not well versed. They made it to the championship. They're champions for a reason. But yeah, excuse me. It's gonna be a great game, and just super excited to see Santi make a run for a state title. They last won in 2018. Coach Perry was still the head coach, so he's been there for a while. It's his program, and it's a bunch of neighborhood kids. That's what Coach Jackson was telling me. It's a bunch of neighborhood kids, well knit community, not really any transfers in or transfers out, and it's just a tight knit community. And he has his culture instilled into that Santi program. So that's what Coach Jackson was telling me, and yeah, it'll be a great game. I will say, just kind of looking at the history, usually the winner of D3 goes to the D7 state title. Some years they'll have a regional game like this year, but other years they'll just straight skip to the state title. I don't know what the equivalent is. I think it's a D7 AA title. But looking at it historically, the I don't know what section usually we get matched up with, but I think it's the San Francisco section. And it's usually Balboa High School or another high school, I forget. And
So from
our
what
representative always loses. And I know this because I played in the D7 AA state title, and we played
yeah,
by High, and we got blown out. And I just kind of did research, I guess, a few months later, just looking into D3 finalists from the city who went to state,
right.
and they would get blown out. So I don't want to look too far ahead and too pessimistic, but let's focus on this week. I do have Santi winning, but yeah, what else do you have on this game?
Taking like a die like to go into what you said, like they're from like the central region, right? So the yeah, like so the normal teams like seven AA and all them. So the fact that we got South that LA City School got South El Monte, a Southern Section team. Um, I honestly, I'm pretty stoked because
There you
um,
go.
you have a local team. You have two local teams actually. So LA and South Almani, about I want to say no more than a 25-minute drive on a clear
Okay.
day. So Saturday, right? Um, I have South Almani winning this just because I think they have more firepower all the way around. But you can't underestimate the state's best running back. I know people are going to sit up here and be like, hey, competition matters, who they played, and stuff like this. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who was on their schedule. Their line still did their job. He still ran the ball. He protected the ball. He gained the yardage. And they had a hell of a season going 10 and going having the record that they had, man, to really put themselves in a spot where they can compete at 10-4, winning it all. Um, Darnell Miller is the real deal. Santee is no joke, but I think South Almani edges them out, and I think the score is not 28-21, but I think it is 24-21, or it gets into one of those barn burner things where Miller breaks off one, and the South Almighty staff has the team and has the players and the ability to pop one downfield or hit somebody in the middle and work their offense and be able to control it. But I think they're able to at least get a stop here and there, and they keep it to a field goal game. That's what I got on that one.
Interesting. Yeah. I kind of already gave my prediction. I'm gonna have Santi on it,
Okay.
mainly just straight bias,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll see how it goes. Darnell Miller is a guy. It's pretty rare, not super rare, but kind of rare to see a guy. He's a D2 guy,
Okay.
and that's not a knock. D2 is still extremely high level. He'll probably get more offers from a D2s. So does South El Monte have a D2 equivalent? I'm not sure. It's not a rhetorical, it's a serious question.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really stop Darnell Miller, you win. Um, Easy as that. That's the game plan, and that's kind of what I have on that matchup.
Oh, somebody put in the comments, don't doubt the South. Hello, Coach Paul. Hello, Palmdale.
Sheesh.
Hello, hello, hello. We don't doubt the South. We don't, and we don't at all. I know what they got over there. They got a great staff and some great kids.
Has
Um,
real quick before we move on, has how tapped in have you been into South El Monte? How have they been as a program recently?
So
If you know.
last year, so for the last couple years, South El Monte has been on the door, like on the cusp of winning it all, man.
Okay.
Um, like they've gone up and down a couple division. I think they've teetered from 11 to 14, like in the
Okay.
last 4 years, right? Um, they've had they've had some like pretty memorable games in the playoffs. I know they got kind of screwed last year. I believe it was where they had to travel all the way to freaking Palm Springs, bro. Dude,
That's terrible,
that
man.
sucks. Like I know those things aren't they're not really fair. But those kind of come with the territory, right? So yeah, they've kind of had the bad luck of the draw. Couple games may have just slipped away from them. Me and Coach Frank, we text here and there. I just text him congratulations. There's other guys on the staff that would when the coaching clinics out in Costa Mesa, we run into each other. Grab a couple adult beverages and we sit there and we talk football. So I'm extremely proud of that staff. I'm extremely proud of Santee, LA City Section team. I've become a city section guy. So I really hope that I wish them both luck. But like I told you, I got the South going up.
There we
So
go.
now on to the next set of business. We have the Division 7 AA state region, right? We got the Division 2 winners, San Fernando, with a record of 11-3, going against Woodbridge, 6-8. Now, as I look into San Fernando, they're led by their quarterback. Let's see,
Julian Sarzo.
Julian Sarzo, and then they have their main running back Melvin Pineda. Man, um, this team is well put together. Oh, let me not forget my boy Andrew Newchurch. Andrew Newchurch is a
Dog.
baller, man. Kid is a baller, baller, baller. Um, I don't know. I really haven't got to look into the Woodridge thing, and I'm pretty sure nobody from Woodridge is watching, so they're not really gonna take it personal. So I got my San Fernando guys out there. Man, San Fernando beat a tough Cleveland team for that championship, dude. Like I was glued to my phone. Like, what is going on? Um, Tell me about it.
Yeah, so all San Fernando Valley matchup in Cleveland, which is located in Reseda in the San Fernando Valley, and then San Fernando High. It was a great atmosphere. Both stands were packed. I just so happened to sit on San Fernando's side. It
Okay.
wasn't really. It just happened, and I did. As I was sitting, a couple of the guys from Van Nuys High School, which is another LA City section school,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
their OC, their O line coach, and a couple of their players, they just happened to recognize me, and we just chopped it up. I mainly chopped it up with the OC for a while before the game started because I got there early. So 30, 40 minutes, we just had a conversation about Van Nuys as a program, other stuff around the city. But
Yeah.
focusing on the game itself, it was really kind of just we had a Cleveland team which was going to run the ball, not necessarily every play, but a tough team, always rallied around the ball, and they relied heavily, at least this game, on number one, Brandon Maldonado, I believe. And
Okay.
man, if there's a kid who left it all on the field, it's that guy. He was on defense, he was on special teams, he was their running back, and man, you could just tell he wanted it. He really wanted this championship. He was on his feet 24/7, dodging tackles, and he's not the biggest. He's 5'5", 5'6", maybe. But yeah, man, he looks like he was six. He looked like Derrick Henry kind of. Left his heart out on his sleeve.
Sheesh.
And we had San Fernando, who was a bit more finesse, who were going to
Yeah.
air it out more, try to get a lot of jet sweeps onto their playmakers into space, and just get explosive plays in. And Cleveland did hold it mainly for most of the game. But yeah, when you have athletes like Andrew Newchurch on your team and a good QB like Julian Sarzo, a few plays are bound to just kind of explode and get into a touchdown. But yeah, San Fernando jumped up early, 14-0. It was kind of Cleveland started off slow. I will say that the first quarter it was 14-0. San Fernando side was going crazy. And I was like, man, this is going to be a blowout. But kudos to Cleveland. They stuck in it. They played hard. They didn't give up. They only lost by one score, 24 to 20, 21 to 20, 21 to 14, right? I believe so. If my memory doesn't serve me wrong. And yeah, kudos to Coach Guzman. They have a lot of young players. Their core is pretty young. Kobe Green, their pair of linebackers slash running backs are all coming back, all underclassmen. And when it comes to the San Fernando team, I will give kudos to the O line. A lot more size than I expected. A lot. They were pretty fundamentally sound.
Okay.
They stick to their scheme. So I don't know. The San Fernando team has surprised me. And going in, they weren't really on my radar to go into the season. I had
Yeah.
always thought of San Fernando as a team that used to be really good in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 2010s. They weren't necessarily the best team in the city, but they
Right.
were. They dominated their league. They had athletes. They were a team that was feared. So that's what I kind of remember them at. But kudos to them for just putting themselves on the map, as our show's called, and they have a lot of good athletes. I'm not sure how young they are, but their coaching staff, I don't know how long they've been there, but San Fernando, could they slowly be coming back into what they were maybe 10, 12, 13 years ago into dominating their league and competing for D1 titles since there was no open division? We'll see. This regional matchup will tell us a lot. I'm on your boat. I don't know pretty much anything apart from their quarterback when it comes to Woodbridge. I know their freshman quarterback is a stud, so definitely got to watch out for him. But other than that, yeah, man, they're all the way out of Irvine. San Fernando
Yep.
will have to travel.
They're
It'll
a
be a
Southern
long drive.
Section team, man.
Yeah, it'll be a long drive, and yeah, I'm pulling for San Fernando just because, like I said, I'm a city guy, city section. Hopefully, they can pull it off and bring home a state title.
Well, Woodbridge beat Woodbridge. To give you guys some context, Woodbridge beat Montebello, which is right down the street from us, right? 24-23.
Mhm.
They lost a close one to Buena Park,
Okay.
22-14, and Buena Park is a good school. So they their 6-8 is a little deceiving just because the reason being is they played Calvary Chapel, Kennedy, Irvine,
Yeah.
Northwood,
Oh yeah,
Beckham.
that's a really yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wait, let me.
yeah,
Dude, they
so
started off 0-6. Wow.
yeah, so they played Portola, Pacifica, Catella. Like they played a gauntlet of a schedule. So when they got to the playoffs, they were ready to go. So this San Fernando team, don't sleep on this 6-8 Woodbridge team because obviously they won it. I don't think the San Fernando staff will sleep on them. But this 6-8, to give context, is very deceiving.
Yeah.
They played a stacked
Yeah.
first.
Kennedy's in the D2. They're gonna play Carson, D2
Yeah.
double A. So okay.
No,
Wow.
no, no, no. That Kennedy's different. The Kennedy that they're playing, the Kennedy that Carson is playing is from.
Oh, sorry. There's like 8 different Kennedy high schools.
Yeah,
Sorry, disregard
yeah,
that.
yeah. So the Kennedy that Carson is playing is completely different. They're from Central California.
Okay,
But
okay.
um, this Woodbridge team is very battle tested. So this is going to be very good to see. But to be a spoiler, a little bit of a spoiler. Actually, I'm not even going to make the statement. Cal Preps has San Fernando winning 22-21.
Let's go. Hopefully, Cal Preps is right.
Yeah, hey man,
But yeah,
that would be
yeah, I'll let you go. Sorry.
that would be That would be a great win for San Fernando. Like I'm really rooting for them. I don't know. You know what? This is gonna be. I'll be City Boy here. I got San Fernando winning 22-21 as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it too, man, because San Fernando were very good once upon a time, and
Yeah.
I want all these city teams that were good when the adults were kids to be good again, and hopefully they bring home a regional title to back to the Valley and compete for a state title because that's what that's the dream. I feel like a lot of goals for city teams is getting the city title. State titles is it's like a dream. Like it's
Yeah,
so far fetched. So they're one game away. That's all I gotta say.
that's it. Now let's get to D1, baby. The game that me and you were both at. We were sitting together. My boy came and joined the fam.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
so our 5A region is Southgate versus Bishop Union. Southgate is the LA City Section D1 champions with a record of 11-3. They beat Marquez on a last second Hail Mary from Mike Gonzalez to Nicholas Fonseca. The final score was 63-58. I got to give you a little bit of insight on this, man. Um, so I was talking to Matt, and we were talking, and I was like, "Did you draw that up?" And he was like, "I did." He was like, um, "I told I told Mike to roll out to the right." So first of all, for the people that don't know how it ended up with one last play with 0 seconds left on the clock, right, an untimed down, they ran a toss pass, which I literally yelled out, "What the are you doing?" But it worked out because Ifani Lewis was able to draw the pass interference, which I think that's what they were hoping to do, right? But I didn't think it was coming from a toss pass. I thought they were going to roll out with Mike, but they ran the toss pass. They got the pass interference. Um, and then I'm thinking, all right, we have a kicker. We're gonna kick this. And I was like, when I saw the offense go out, I was like, okay. So then I was talking to Matt. I'm like, hey man, so how did you draw that up? And so he told Mike, look, you're gonna roll out to your right, and then when you break downhill, right before you hit the line of scrimmage, you're gonna let it rip. He told Lou, he's like, Lou, you're not gonna catch the ball, you're gonna tip it, but you either tip it back or to the side because everybody's gonna collapse on you. So you'll have Nico behind you and Nick to the side of you. So don't try to catch it. You're big, just go tip it. Well, as you saw, Mike rolls out. Both defenders crash on Lou. Lou sticks his hand up, tips it to the side, right into Fonseca's hands. Game over. Like Southgate wins. Um, that was probably one of the dopest championships I've ever been a part of. Like that, the 30 seconds, the scoring with us scoring with 45 seconds left in the game, and then they turn around and they throw a Hail Mary to Elijah Staples, and he came down with the ball, and then they go for the 2 point conversion, and he catches the 2 point conversion. Man, like the difference in that, and as a coach, and as I'm seeing hindsight is 2020, the difference in that game being the different outcome is they kicked the onside kick. If they did not kick the onside kick and just pooched the ball or kicked it to well, more context. They weren't going to kick it to Nico Quintanilla, number 3, because he had already housed one and brought him back into the game. You're not kicking it to, and I'm going to say this very clearly for everybody that's listening. You're not kicking it to the best athlete in D1 in the D1 city section either, in Nicholas Fonseca. You're not kicking it to either one of them. But the downfall and the only thing that put Southgate in that position was is they onside kicked it and they were able to gain the 15 on the PI and then the Hail Mary. But other than that, man, that was probably one of the best coach games I've seen on both sides of the ball. So we know that Southgate is led by Mike Gonzalez, Nicholas Fonseca, Nico Quintanilla. But the unsung hero of this game, you already know who I'm going to say, Ifani Lewis had 11 receptions for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. man, this young man he came over, he found his role into the offense, and he had the game of his life, man, and he's put them into a position where they're one win away from going to a state title. Also, shout out to Southgate's defensive leaders, Maddox Fung, Leo Ramirez, and Edward Castro. Um, they're going up against. You got any comments on the game since you were there too, or you want to just go on? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll share a few words.
Okay.
Like you said, great atmosphere. If you're neutral, you couldn't ask for a better game. There was drama. There was big hits. There was electric touchdowns. There was what's the play called when they threw it to Elijah and then he handed it off and then they ran in for a touchdown? What's that
Oh, the
play
hook and
called?
ladder, dude. The
The
hook
hook
and
and
ladder.
ladder.
What a play!
Yeah.
What
On
a
fourth
play!
down, on
That
fourth
hook.
and 10, if Marquez doesn't
Oh,
get a first down, game over. They throw a hook and ladder to Elijah Staples. Everyone else is going to Elijah. He catches it, hands it off, and Marquez they get a touchdown. Wow, that was a great play call. Like even I feel like I sensed it on the Southgate side, on the stands. Like whoa, like did that just happen? Like damn, they got us. But other than that, yeah, it was a great game. And looking back at the replay, it was you can definitely tell Coach Matt, you guys as OC Southgate's offensive coordinator, Coach Matt Valencia, definitely drew that up or they've practiced it a few times because is it Ufani? How do you say his name? Lou?
Ifani Lewis.
Ifani. Ifani, okay. Ifani's like 6'2" or 6'3", so you got to put his height to your guys' advantage, and he tips it, and boom, it's a Hail Mary, and man, just if you just kind of play into the storyline of Southgate this season. They scheduled up. They lost, I guess you can say, a heartbreaker. Maybe not a heartbreaker, but a very close one against Mary Star.
Oh,
They
that was a
scheduled
heartbreaker.
up.
That was a
They
heartbreaker.
they were in the game for a while against Garfield, who was in the open division, and they have a chip on their shoulder because let's not forget. Let's rewind 365 days a year ago. You guys were essentially cheated out of a Division 2 city section ring championship. It caused a lot of ruckus. I mean, hell, your guys' head coach, Coach Cisco Saldana, went on Coach JB, and Coach JB is a notable figure in the college coaching
Shout
and
out
slash
Coach
high school
JB.
football. He went on his show to kind of just air his feelings out, let people know of the situation that happened. And now you fast forward to present day, or I guess last week, and you guys get, I guess, a vengeance and a division higher too. It's not a D2 title, it's a D1 title. And that
Yeah,
just speaks volumes to where Southgate is a program and where they're going with the pieces you guys have in terms of players, like a Mike Gonzalez, like a Nick Fonseca, who are both coming back for their senior years next year. Coach Matt, as long as he's there, I have no doubts Southgate can put up points against damn near any team.
yeah,
And yeah, Coach Cisco Saldana, the main guy pulling the strings, the head coach. He's been in the game for a long time. So as long as your guys' pieces are there, I can see Southgate moving into the moon. But potential open division with that non-league schedule that you guys have is not out of the picture. I know we're this season's not even done, so I guess I'm skipping into next season.
yeah.
A little too much right now, but yeah, man, what a great game. I'm so glad I got to experience it, and I'm so glad that you're okay because you jumped the fence. I'm like, man, is his lower extremity? Are they
I was
okay?
gone. I was gone. I had told you guys, I had turned around and told you guys. Oh, so hold on before I get into it. Hey, Coach Tony, I see your comment. We'll definitely reach out to you. You can explain it to us. I know as a coach, it's kind of tricky, so that's why I kind of gave both sides. Like, you don't want to kick it to either one. Like, so we'll sit down. We definitely would love to chop it up. You're absolutely right. Both OCs had a master class of a game. But yeah, I told everybody in my section just because
You did.
it's, I said this was something like for those that don't know that like I've left, I kind of I really haven't told everybody. Like I still have people in my inner circle that I haven't told that like I'm not a part of the team, right? I don't want it's more of a thing like I have I started going back to school, so when I went back to school and I'm missing 2 nights a week, like I was already out of the role that I was in last year, and it was already like taking a toll on me. So to now then be separated from the team even more, it was just like, you know what? I think it's just best where I focus on because this is my career, right? So
Mhm.
when after the Mary Star game, my last game coaching, like I've been to every game, been there. So I told you guys, I was like, if we win, I'm I'm gone. And as soon as Nick caught the ball, Jay, where was I? I was gone.
Bro, you're quick. You still got some athleticism in your body, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
recording the video for my to post on Twitter, and then on the bottom of the screen, I just see you running. I'm like, whoa, he's already there. What?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was out. I was outro. Um, but shout out to everybody, like, and all the kids that embraced me, the staff that embraced me, man. Shout out to Cisco, Coach Cisco. Man, that embrace after the game, there was nothing like it, man. Like, to be a part of this team at the beginning of the year and to start the journey last year when we started this journey. Um, man, there's no words that can express. I know they're feeling high. Like I'm on cloud nine too, and I'm like, I'm not even coaching. I haven't coached since the Mary Star game. So um, I know the excitement and stuff that was there. I was just glad that my boys and I'll call them my boys because those boys are my boys. They got their ring, man, and now they have the opportunity to play Bishop Union and get one step closer to a state title, something that a city section team hasn't done in a very long time. Um, so a little bit about the team that they're playing. Bishop Union won the Central Division 5 championship. Excuse me. The record is 11-3. They beat Woodlake 69-21.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a high. We may have another high scoring game. Bishop is led by QB Imari Dondero, running back Hunter Daly or Dolly. Excuse me, if you guys do see this, I pronounce names wrong all the time. I apologize. Receiver Levi Durr and Carlos Suarez. Right. Defensive leaders for the team are Malachi Oric, Donero, Don Dodiro, and Hunter Daly. Cal Preps. You ready for this one?
Yes, I am.
Cal Preps has Bishop Union winning 38-31.
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say zero for a second. I was like, what the? Okay.
Yeah, nah, Cal Preps has Bishop Union winning 38-31. I disagree with this. Um, I I haven't seen anything on Bishop Union. I'll probably watch something on them tonight or tomorrow. Um, but I do know that I kind of touched on this earlier. Yes, Elijah Staples is 6'2", 6'3", 10 D1 offers. Not taking it. I'll never take anything away from it. The young man and what he's done. But the best D1 player in LA City section stands about 5'5", where's the number two for the team Southgate Rams. And you throw this team with I'm a Chris Fields guy with I'm gonna go. He's 1A. Chris is 1B now.
Okay.
And I know Chris just won the Open, so they're gonna be like, Coach Paul, you're pulling a homer. I'm pulling a homer. It is what it is. This kid is now 1A, um, with 1A quarterback in the LA City section. Man, kid's got over 3,500 yards. Um, Showed the most maturity that I've seen him in this game with Michael Gonzalez at quarterback. And then, man, Nico stepped up. So with those three and with Lou stepping up, um, yeah, dude, this team is going to be very tough to beat. So before we go to the next one, now that I just said that, I look, I look because Carson is a team full of juniors.
Mhm.
Southgate is a team full of juniors. If this is possible, if, because you touched on it a little bit, because have you seen Southgate? Somebody decided to jump up in the comments and say that they were going to go 0-4, which you're entitled to your opinion. But if you have not seen Southgate's,
I'll read it out. I'll read it out. Give me a
go
second.
ahead. Go ahead and read that for me.
So for context, Coach Paul is mentioning Southgate High School's non-league schedule for 2026. And the non-league schedule goes as follow: at La Mirada. Oh no. At home versus La Mirada. At home versus Los Altos. At Muir and at Salesian. Four Southern Section teams. Four very good Southern Section teams. 2 years in a row they've scheduled Southern Section only non-league. So that's what he's referencing.
That's exactly what I'm referencing. Um, it will now become a game of attrition, right? Um, I look for I look for every team in the Eastern League to get a little bit better, but they're not going to get better than Southgate next year. And if they do, good for them. Good for them. That's not taking anything away from them. But the way I see it is, I see the teams that were at the top that are gonna fall because they're losing some of their key players. We're not. They're maintaining. You got Birmingham, but if all plays well and all works itself out well, like bro, you could have a Carson Southgate matchup, and it's gonna be fireworks if that were to happen. So the outlook for the city section football is very bright. I'm super excited. That's where I'll leave that. But I do got Southgate beating Bishop Union, and I see them going to the state game. And if they do, we'll have another episode and we can talk about that too. Now, let's get to the open division, man. They play. So Carson plays Kennedy for the 3A division, right?
What
Carson
city is Kennedy in? Just for reference, there's like four Kennedys.
Kennedy is in the Central Section Division 3.
Okay.
Kennedy won the Central Section Division 3 championship over
Okay.
Independence.
Okay.
Okay. So they're from up north. Carson beat Crenshaw 36-0. You stayed for the game. I left. You can give some context to it. 36-0. And then I noticed that everything was scored in the second quarter. Like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a bit of a spiel here.
Do it.
Back to your previous statement, the outlook of City is looking very good. I could definitely see Southgate in the Open Division next year. Off the top of, I mean, not even off the top of my head. I mean, programs like King Drew are gonna be in the Open. Hamilton's probably gonna be in the Open. Birmingham will stay in the Open. So the outlook is super exciting. I'll definitely be at a non-league game. I'm not sure which one. Obviously, it's a year away, but yeah, excited for Southgate where they're going as a program. And I do have Southgate winning against Bishop Union. And just kind of moving forward into this open division city section game, it was Carson versus Crenshaw. And why I didn't up or not upload, but post a prediction score on my
Right.
Twitter is because I was kind of expected this. If I'm gonna be honest, I
Okay.
think this was a David versus Goliath type of match.
All right.
I mean not Carson, Crenshaw has barely 400 enrollment. They play 15 guys, not even 14 guys, and one of their guys was injured, number 4. So really 13 guys. I kind of expected this score line, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect it to happen in 7 minutes, which was you were referring to. Carson scored all 36 of their points in 7 minutes in the second quarter. It was just touchdown, touchdown, punt return, touchdown, touchdown, and just like that, the game was over, and just like that. But yeah, it was when you texted me, it was 36-0, and just like that, Carson just blew. They took their foot off the gas pedal because they kind of knew it was like,
Dude,
okay,
when I text you, I thought somebody was so look, Max Preps, we love you. We love you. You are our main source of scores and knowledge. But when something like that happens, because you guys have people that troll,
yeah,
I text Jay 36-0 is Max Preps getting trolled. And his response was, nope.
it's true,
I was
man.
like, wow. Hey, when I was leaving, dude, if Crenshaw can get the enrollment and get that team, all of those kids were 6 foot, man. 6 foot, 6'1". All
Yeah,
of them.
guys, yeah.
I was like, holy. Even my son was like, damn, dad, those kids are good. Right? It's all good.
Had a mute
Uh,
myself. Hold on, let me scream bless you.
that's right.
Okay.
Bless you. Hey, no, but like Crenshaw is literally like they just got to get enrollment up, man, and I think they can compete. they had some big boys, man.
Yeah.
They looked like they had some athletes too.
Hmm.
Um, like you said, 7 minutes, dude. And I'm not even gonna like shout out to the Carson staff for like you said they took their foot off the gas. Like they just played football for the remainder of the game.
Hmm.
That's sportsmanship because Carson could have just blown them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's I guess I'll do this in two parts. Kind of I'll give my flowers to Crenshaw and then I'll give them to Carson. Honestly, I think Crenshaw played the game of their life last week against Birmingham, or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago rather. They played their game of their life,
yeah,
and it showed. It's not a miracle, but it was, as I say, a game of their life, and I think they pulled out all the cards they had in their little toolbox against Birmingham, and just kind of ran short against Carson. And like a school with 400 kids, and Justin Cook, credit to you, who is affiliated with the Crenshaw program, pretty close. Not a coach or a player, but he's close to the Crenshaw community and the school. He said, yeah, a bunch of these kids are foster kids, not just the football players, but in the school in general.
okay,
We're competing with schools, like a bunch of smaller charter schools, a View Park,
okay,
a bunch of schools in our area. So we're struggling for enrollment. And yeah, man, kudos to this Crenshaw team for surprising me by winning the Coliseum League. Not surprise, proving me wrong. By
yeah,
proving me wrong by winning the Coliseum League. Proving me wrong by beating San Pedro. Proving me wrong by beating Birmingham. And proving me wrong by making it to the Open Division. So credit
yeah,
to them. And yeah, I think if Crenshaw as a institution can somehow pull more kids in, I have
yeah,
no doubt that Crenshaw can still be dominant. And also, I think when I mentioned standout athletes from Crenshaw, I don't know if a lot of you guys have noticed, but I say numbers because they don't have a roster on Max Preps. And I
right,
was watching Tarek Fatal's live show, which goes live every Monday last week, and I
okay,
think he said it perfectly. And obviously he's over exaggerating a little bit, but he
yeah,
said, "Man, this is I'm paraphrasing, but he said, this Crenshaw team is like the worst at promoting their own players in the state." And it's an over exaggeration, yes, but I think it's true, man. I mean, you have Crenshaw with athletes on athletes on athletes, and yet zero coaches are on Twitter, two players are on Twitter. Nobody's promoting anything. It's hard to get in touch with anybody, and I Terrence Whitehead is the head coach, and he's a longtime assistant to Coach Robert Garrett.
yeah,
I feel like the coaching staff should know, hey, are we the Crenshaw of old where we have 10, 15 D1 guys? No. But it's still a bunch of kids' dreams to go to a college, to go to a D2 in Iowa, to go to a D2 in Arizona, or to go to a JUCO, to go to a El Camino or whatever. I gotta find how can I promote these kids, and they simply don't do it. They don't do max prep rosters. Tarek Fatal, who is like as I just mentioned, he's a reporter for Sports Illustrated. He covered the game, and he tweeted, everybody in the press box was scrambling to find an accurate roster, and they had to go to Rosenblum's email from September. We're in December, guys. They had to go back 2 months to find an accurate roster for Crenshaw's roster. So this is kind of, and I'm gonna just shoot it straight. I'm kind of putting their coaching staff on blast, and I know they have more responsibilities. They're grown men and they have separate jobs and separate lives. But man, you guys got to show something to these kids because the talent that I see on the field, number 4, number 6, Joshua Jones, and luckily he's one of the few with a name on Max Preps. These are they high power 5 D1 guys? No, but they can play at a high level at a D2 or maybe like a D1 AA, but their film is not out there. You guys aren't promoting them. You guys need to push for these kids to make it out. You guys are so proud of having, Dave on Hanley on the Chargers, having all these people coming from your community. And it's great because you guys have birthed legends, whether it's music, it's actors, athletes. But if you look at the current state of Crenshaw football right now, you guys just got to push players out. It's hard to get kids in, and I understand that. But the kids you guys do have are guys. And I'm
yeah,
saying this out of like, man, if I was a coach on that coaching staff, I'd be on Twitter every day, sending messages, tagging people, tagging journalists, tagging me, news pages who just repost city section for
yeah.
city section guys. And they're simply not there. There's only 2 guys or 3 guys from Crenshaw's roster on Twitter. It's their center, Fernando Lopez, their
Mhm.
D1 guy, which credit to him, but he was at Amino Robinson last year, so he had a Twitter prior to being at
Okay,
Crenshaw.
yeah,
DeAndre Kirkpatrick and Daniel Flowers, who's their quarterback.
yeah,
So, yeah, man, I know probably not any coaches from the Crenshaw coach staff are watching this, but man, if you guys are, man, you guys gotta hop on Twitter because that's where it's at right now. That's the Tinder for high school football, and you guys should already know this. It's not
It
anything
is.
new.
And even if you don't want to manage it, there's kids out there that don't play, that aren't physically able to play a sport that you can make a manager and you could give them the responsibility of being your social media person, right? Um, you can also look, like you said, back in there, they've had people go D1, they had people go to the league. I'm not saying make it a charity case, but you need to reach out to the alumni if the school's not giving you the resources you need to get a resource like Huddle. Reach out to the alumni and be like, "Hey, we need to do this for these kids so we can get these kids out. If we start getting these kids to college into the next level, we can start getting more athletes into our school." It's baffling sometimes. Like, um, and then now you're in situations where you're low enrollment. You beat a hell of a Birmingham team.
Yeah.
One of your best players goes down, and you go from playing 15, 16 people to 14, 15 people, both sides of the ball against a team that's gonna like it just it didn't work. It got you so far.
Hmm.
Um, but
Yeah. That's
shout out to the Crenshaw
Yeah.
staff
Shout out to
for doing
Crenshaw, and I know I felt kind of went like on a rant, but it
all right.
was, man, and I say it out of like, man, because I want these kids to succeed.
Obviously, yeah.
And what Crenshaw did 2 weeks ago, they broke history. Birmingham, it had 55 game win streak is what they broke. They beat Birmingham 2 weeks ago, and how many college recruiters know about it? I'm not sure how many. How many people, how many news reporters know about it? Obviously a few, but like, man, something
Shadi
like
and
that
Tarek.
should be
That's
promoted.
you, me, Shadi, Tarek. Whoever's
Yeah,
whoever's retweeted
yeah,
that,
man. Like,
that's about it.
yeah, you guys. Yeah, that's all I got on the coaching staff. I know no one's really
Yeah,
watching, but yeah, come on, you guys gotta. It's 2020. We're in 2026, guys. You guys aren't promoting D1 guys on your team. That's your guys' fault. And I know you guys have other lives, but man, you guys gotta do better as coaches. And I'll say that. And I don't. I know I'm not a football coach, but I'm putting you guys on blast, man. No accurate roster for 3 months. Come on, guys. You guys aren't that. I'll leave it at that.
he's pissed.
Yeah, let me move on to Carson though, because Carson are my guys. Coach E, Coach Edward Humphreys is
Yes.
our guy.
What's up, Coach E? Shout
Congratulations.
out to Coach E. Congratulations.
Congratulations. First
Yeah.
D first city title since John Aguirre was the head coach about 20 years ago, more or less. And yeah, man, when I see this Carson team, one, they're built like a Southern Section team. Two, they have the numbers of a Southern Section team. And three, they play like a Southern Section team. A good way that I kind of like from somebody who's not super schematically into football,
Yeah.
because I never played too much, or I didn't I don't break down film or anything.
Right.
Something I noticed was Crenshaw felt like a team of really really good athletes but are individuals. Carson felt like a whole unit.
Yes.
They rallied to the ball. They had the great schemes. They noticed, hey, Crenshaw's been really aggressive, let's bait him. And they sent a guy on a streak and another guy on I don't know what route it is, but it's basically when you just take a step to the quarterback and just go for the
Hitch.
ball. A
Hitch.
hitch, yeah. Crenshaw bit on that twice in a row. But yeah, this team is definitely Southern Section built.
Yeah.
You can see it, man. They put the fear into Crenshaw's sideline, and I'm super excited. And I did get my prediction right. I did have Carson winning the Open Division. I did think it was gonna be a Birmingham Carson matchup, but yeah, man, I'm super excited. I do have them winning against Kennedy. I don't know anything about Kennedy, but kind of as you were mentioning when we were talking about Southgate, a lot of this team is sophomores and juniors when I'm talking about Carson. They're graduating a few pieces, and I mean a few. I know they're graduating one or two linemen and their starting linebacker, and then I think one receiver who's in the rotation but is a starter. I think Royal Moore, I
Yeah.
believe is
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
name. So they're returning a lot of guys. They're returning your guy Chris Fields. In your opinion, the number one QB in the city section.
One
They're
B.
gonna
One B. I
one
love
B
you,
one B.
man.
Sorry,
It's one B.
apologies.
One B.
And I'm also not gonna hide from the fact that people are gonna take notice. Hey, Carson's good again. Hey, Carson has 6 guys that have a D1 offer. I could send my son there, and he could get an offer.
Facts.
They're gonna get more kids, more class of 30s, more transfers. And I'm not gonna say they're gonna get 20 transfers, no, but they'll get 2 or 3 transfers because parents will take notice, kids will take notice. Hey, I could win here, but more importantly, I could get looks here.
Yep.
So I'm super excited to see where they go in the off season in terms of the game. Yeah, really. Once you have momentum on your side, like it happened in that second quarter, anything's possible. And shoot, they scored 36 in 7 minutes. Game was over after that. And on to next week. What is Cal Preps' prediction for this
All
matchup?
right. So I did some homework on this team, right? Um, so Kennedy, they won the Central Section Division Three. They're
Okay.
led by their quarterback Jordan Palomo, running backs Christian Hernandez and Jace Demacabalin or Cabelin, Demacabalin, right? So Jace ran for over 2,000 yards. Christian ran for over 1,000 yards. Um, this kid Jace also won their a wrestling Division 3 title.
Oh, they got a
Kid is just
wrestler.
a hard nosed kid. He's listed at 6'1", 205. So if I think this is about to be, excuse my language, a fucking heavyweight fight, dude, this is about to be a great game. I have Carson winning. I have Carson winning, but Cal Preps has Kennedy winning 35-28.
Whoa,
Yeah.
boo.
Oh, right. So Cal Preps only gave San Fernando, the only city section school, the win. Well, I picked South Almonte, so it balances each other out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, dude, like when I was doing this research for the show, and I was like, man, I was like, what is this team about? And they had two guys over 1,000, and then the kid Jace had 2,000, right? I was like, well, I looked at his profile and I was like, okay, let me see, like maybe they play a bunch of like ringers, right? No, they like this is a top dog team up there, up north, right? Up in the central area. But the kid is just a hard nosed kid. Like when I saw that he won a CIF singles in Division 3, I was
Hmm.
like, man, this kid is about it. So for as scrappy as Carson is, like you said, the one thing that that you said that I noticed at the beginning of that championship game is when they were watching our game, it wasn't just one or two.
Yeah,
They
it was
were
a whole bunch of
all
people.
out there. They were there together.
Yeah.
When they went into the locker room to get dressed, they all got dressed, like got all their stuff and came back out together. That was something that stood out. So to hear you say that they were rallying and they were there and they were serious, this game versus Kennedy, man, it's gonna be a heavyweight fight, and I hope and I have Carson winning, so hopefully they can get it together, so or they could pull it off, not together, they could pull it off because their resume this year is impeccable. Like they did what they were supposed to do. Um, they finished business, man. Everybody that jumped on me is talking about they're not number this, they're not number that. This person's here, this person's there. Well, folks, they're number one, and
Mhm.
they're going to state. And shout out to Speedy Myers, man. You didn't get one last year with us. You and your family moved, and then you were able to get into Carson, and you got one in the open. Shout out to Chris Fields, also Nathan Williams and Craig Walker. Man, you guys had a hell of a season, and you guys are team leaders. But I want to shout out Xavier Allen, Preston Leomidi, and Kingston Sula. Man, those guys on the defensive side of the ball are rocking stuff. So
They are.
hopefully after Saturday we can have another episode and it's all
We
good.
will. We will have faith. This is the one time where I feel like I'm on everybody's side when I have predictions because
Yeah,
hey, I'm just running for city. Cal Preps is gonna be wrong.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I got Carson winning. I don't know much about Kennedy, and I'm just super excited about the city section in general. I feel like it's moving forward slowly but surely. I mean, Chris Four who is this kind of a known figure in the high school football in SoCal, at least, former coach.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw.
Has a few books and is also kind of known for having the spreadsheet on coaching changes in SoCal.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
saw. I saw Chris Ford. Yeah,
yeah,
he
Chris Ford.
did
He
today.
tweeted. He quote tweeted a video of obviously Carson lifting up the trophy, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he was talking about Carson's head coach William Lowe, and he said, "Coach Lowe is one of the best coaches in SoCal, and he left a private school job for a LA City job. Who does that? I have no, I have no doubt he'll turn Carson into a power." And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but yeah, it's true. I mean, Willie, like this coaching staff has come from Southern Section. Coach William Lowe and Coach E were at Rancho Christian. One of the coaches was at Long Beach Jordan. So there's Southern Section coaching staff as well, and they're bringing guys in. So I'm just super excited. Coach Lowe, as long as he's there, I have no doubt Carson will be the Carson of old. And yeah, I guess last thing I'll mention about the game is the atmosphere was great from both, even Crenshaw's sideline, even when the 36 points were scored. A few people did leave, I'm gonna be honest, but the atmosphere was still there.
Yeah,
And when Crenshaw did get a couple of explosive plays, because they do have athletes, so that was bound to happen. They did get a couple of explosive plays. The
yeah,
crowds went crazy, and it kind of felt like I was back in 2008, even though I wasn't really conscious. But I felt like it was in 2008, a Carson versus Crenshaw final, what it means to the city of Los Angeles, to the surrounding areas. So much alumni, so much history between those two schools. How many players in the NFL? How many players have gone to the NFL? How many
yeah.
players did they both send D1? Just so much history, and I guess just a great game for City Section. History. Great football game. Debatable, but yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Is there any comments? Let's see. I didn't
Hey,
read any.
so no, so for the viewers, this new live, like the live stuff is new to us, right? So we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out how we could do. If you open up the chat, like on your side, do you have a chat
Yeah,
option?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you open up the chat, we don't have to look at YouTube on our phone.
Oh, okay.
We can see the
Okay.
chat.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. So
There we
South Side,
go.
Santi
Yeah,
with the upset. Okay. Don't doubt the South. I'm assuming Angel Bautista was South Amane. Hello
yeah.
from Palmdale. And we have a Palmdale coach. What's up?
No,
Uh,
that's a coach front. So shout out to Coach Victor Hernandez.
uh-huh.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah.
He's in Palmdale right now. They had to buy it. They bought a house, so he's
Oh, so he lives in
yeah,
Palmdale?
yeah. So he's over in Palmdale right now. He still stays out here, but they bought a house in Palmdale. So he's fixing it up. He's getting it ready to go move into. So he's
Okay.
in Palmdale right now before he comes back this way.
There we go. Congratulations, Coach Hernandez. Coach Paul, I would love to discuss the kickoff with you guys. Coach Tony from. Oh, do you think it would have been better if they just kicked it out of bounds and Southgate started at the 40?
So this is what they're talking about, right? So, yeah, you didn't know I could do that, huh?
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
I would love to discuss kickoff with you guys. So, to be honest with you, um, when Nico Quintanilla had already housed it. Like everybody kicked away from Nick, started kicking it to Nico. So coming out of the half, it's 28-20. They kick it to Nico, and Nico house calls.
Yeah.
What do you do as a coach? You have two of the deadliest athletes returning kicks. You could pooch it, it could go out of bounds. You could have that ordeal. You can onside kick it, hope to recover it, whatever. As a coach, you take a risk. It was a gamble. Do you risk kicking it deep and he house calls it and you lose? Or do you just put it in the field of play and try to get your defense to stop, right? So if the PI does not happen, plan works out perfectly,
Yeah.
right? The PI happens. 15 yards closer, Hail Mary. So as a coach, like don't second guess yourself, coach. Don't. Like I'm able to do that because I was sitting in the stands. Like if I
Yeah.
was the defensive coordinator, like all right, or the offensive coordinator, like I'm like I as a coach, if I was coach, I'm telling you kick that shit deep. Because
Uh-huh.
if you kick it to them, they're gonna try to make a play.
Yeah.
They're going to try to make a play. So you lose on a kickoff return. So it's just football's. It's just really. It just depends.
It
Um,
depends. Yeah.
yeah, it just depends. I
There you go.
honestly, because I want to kick it to Nico either. Like, I want to kick it to Nick either. Like, I want to kick it to either one of them. So
Yeah.
what do? You kick it out of bounds. You kick it out of bounds. You still have the same situation, the PI. It is what it is, man. Like, can't second guess it. But yeah, coach. Well, we'll talk. We'll sit down and you can tell us
Yeah.
what was going through your thought process there.
And then
Um,
he mentioned both OCs coached the master class. Coach Lowe said that's a very common, I'm assuming he's supposed to say issue with the Coliseum League. Had this problem trying to find tape on a kid from Washington Prep. Yeah, I mean, Coach Paul, you kind of sensed it that I was going on a bit of a rant talking about Crenshaw. The last thing I'll say is, man, you guys have to realize, you coaches on Crenshaw's coaching staff have to realize this isn't 2010 anymore. College coaches are not knocking at Crenshaw's door anymore. DeAnthony Thomas is not there anymore. This is long are the days where you guys are a top 50 team in California.
I didn't
You
even
guys
notice.
have all your players.
Oh, sorry. I didn't notice you guys put Staples in. I did not notice that. So, Aaron, let me throw that back up on
Oh,
the.
okay, what does that say? What is? Let me
So
read
we
it.
were always
We were
so
always. Oh,
I
you
was
can read
going
it. Yeah.
back to Nico. If you guys go back to the video, we put our best guys on kickoff. Staples. I did not see that. Did you notice that Staples was on kickoff return or
I did
kickoff?
not.
I
No, they put
didn't.
it. No, no.
Hey, but shout out to you. You guys had a game plan, coach. You had a game plan and you stuck to it. I Hey, we had a game plan last year. We stuck to it, and you know what? You don't after stuff like that. You always. I'm not saying you're doing it, but there's always like, well, did we do the right thing? I'm second guessing it. Don't do any of that. Like I'm able to do that because I'm an outsider coach. So like that was my thing. Like, damn, that's possibly what ultimately led you to losing the game. Was just because of field position, not because it was a bad call. So I just want you guys to know that. I rock with Marquez. Man, you guys are my second. You guys are like my second family that I always run into at like when we're out. Like we're out and it's like, oh shit, what's up, man? uh, but I'm excited for everybody that's gonna have that for everyone that's going into battle this weekend. We got 4 teams. LA City section stand up. I know I picked South Almonte, but hey Santee, if you're one to upset me or prove me wrong, clip me, please do. Because my pick was more of a not a city section thing. It was more of a
Oh, busy guy, man. Text drop.
oh, dude. I love this job. Hey man, Jay, I love this gig. I love this job. I love what we do. So back to what I was saying, Santi, I'm rooting for you. My pick was more of a that's a family member to me, man.
Yeah.
That's my high school coach. That's a mentor. I'm coaching because of him. Like I'm where I'm at because this man gave me an opportunity. He took me with him. He's exposed me and introduced me to other great coaches that I still have relationships with. That if they were to get into coaching and to call me, I would consider going to when the time's right. I would consider being on that staff. But I also know that they would give me an opportunity to be me and let me shine. Right. Um, so it's one of those things where it's like I'm grateful for him. So I don't think that I picked against you because of anything else that you're not capable. So LA City section, we are rooting for you. Everybody stand up. As far as games goes and where they're located, you guys can go on Max Preps. You can go to buy ticket. It's at GoFan. Um, Anybody that was looking at the Southgate game, if you looked at GoFan at like 8 o'clock this morning, it said that the game was going to be at Garfield. I checked like 15 minutes before we started the show. It says that it's going to be at Southgate. I'll reach out to Cisco and have them tell me where the game's at because I'm hearing some weird rules. Like I guess it has to be played on a turf field. Never
Okay.
heard of that.
Okay.
No,
I
no,
heard of that
and
either.
not true. South El Monte is not a turf field. South El Monte is a grass field. So if South El Monte is playing at home, which they are, right? Is that South El
Uh,
Monte?
it says yeah, Santi out South Amani. Yeah.
South El Monte is a grass field. If South El Monte and Santee are playing on a grass field, so are Southgate and Bishop Union. So there you have it. You got anything else for the folks?
No, just shout out city section, best city in California, best football in California. Most promising section and most historic section has more history than any other section in California. Period. And yeah, let's go 4 for 4. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, we will see you soon, hopefully. and willing, it's next week with more to talk about going into state
Yep.
and some of the stuff that we saw. What games are you going to again?
I will be at Carson versus Kennedy. So, Coachy, I'll be reaching out probably tomorrow and see if you get me on the sideline.
Bet. You already know where I'll be. My son will be lead blocking for Nico Quintanilla again. Number 40, Sonny Reese, baby.
Yes,
You better
sir.
watch out. My boy out there bullying people. But yeah, uh, till next time, man. We are the On the Map podcast. Thank you to our sponsors, Black Market Chicken, Never Waver Apparel. Don't
Yep.
forget to subscribe, comment, hit the follow button, notifications as well, so you get reminded of every new episode. And until next time, peace.
Peace.